Front, true believers, this is Modular Media's No Prize podcast. I'm your host, Boingo Writer, and with me, as always, in the bullpen.
Representing the holy shit, there's been 100 of these now competition. The Vacuuminator is here.
And there will be a
Oh god. Oh
uh,
man.
No Prize podcast. The podcast where we talk Marvel comics, movies, merchandise, more, whatever. It's our comic books podcast.
It's our live Sunday fuck around and find out.
And we have fucked around and found out for over 100 episodes.
Yeah, so to do it, we're gonna commemorate the occasion with something a little special, a little out of the ordinary for us, because we're talking about the first live-action Marvel project to be theatrically released.
1989's The Punisher.
I don't actually remember any of the music from this movie.
No. Hi, welcome to the most low budget. We have $500. Let's make a movie.
Yeah, this is like, I have things to say about this movie, don't worry, but this movie is basically the kind of like basic ass 80s Hollywood action schlock that you would expect to find on an episode of Best of the Worst.
I think it's a little bit better than that. It's not as bad as that can get.
I mean, it's not like they shot in a desert. It does have some production value to it. It's just, it feels very formulaic and very much sticking to the conventions of the time. There's only like a few things that really tie it into being the Punisher.
And that's the name.
Yeah. And the fact that he had a family that got blowed up.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's too far away from the Punisher. Like, it has the ideas there.
And I mean, if anything, like, this might piss some people off, but I think this is kind of the purest adaptation of the Punisher possible, because you got to remember, the Punisher literally exists because Marvel went like, oh, 8 friggin' anti-hero rogue gunmen are really big right now. Let's make a comic about that.
Yeah. And this
And
is
so,
just
like,
that.
yeah, this is just one of those movies, but it's actually called The Punisher. Like, this could have been like a Dirty Harry, or what are those movies that Canon had like a long series of? It'd be one of those.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It stars the one dude who doesn't look like an action star.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 7 of them.
Yeah. I'm thinking of specifically like the one that was covered on Best of the Worst, actually. They did like a Canon special and they covered one, and like I remember it all takes place in this one little apartment complex, but there's just shit tons of gang members, but they only ever call them creeps, which is a thing similar to this. I don't think they called them creeps, they called them something else in this. But
Wise
like,
guys.
yeah, what? There's a bunch of wise guys he's killed and he's taken down. Like, also, this really isn't an origin story. This is full on. The Punisher's been active for years at this point,
Yep.
and just these certain cops are still trying to hunt him down.
These certain cops are trying to hunt him down, and things are getting to an apex with the gangs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Overall, I don't think this movie was awful.
No, it's fine. It's perfectly passable. It's very of its time, but it's also not going to be like one you're going to want to go back and rewatch all the time.
No, this is one that you've like, if you're with friends and you're all like comic nerds, and you go like, hey, you want to watch The Punisher?
This is very much a get drunk and laugh kind of movie, but not in like a the movie is bad kind of way, and like the movie is ridiculous kind of way.
Yeah, it is uber ridiculous.
And I am glad that I finally checked it out, because I've known about this movie for years and years and years, alongside like the David Hasselhoff Nick Fury movie. I found out about those at around the same time when I was like 13, 14, and I've always wanted to check them out. I've just never gotten to them, and now that I've seen it, it's like, yes, okay, this is exactly what I thought it was. I don't ever need to rewatch it.
I find it interesting that Marvel the big Marvel adaptations that really like happened first were all the weird anti-hero fuckers.
Because that was like the shit that you could make on a low budget.
Because it's like the Punisher and Blade and Nick
Yeah.
Fury and like, oh yeah, no guns and yeah.
Like
And
the
then
fact that the fact that the Hulk show was as big and successful as it was is kind of insane. It's more like it should have been a Daredevil show.
I mean, it's easy enough to paint a big dude green.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I don't think this isn't a bad Punisher movie either. It's not like it's an okay movie that's happened to be called The Punisher. As a Frank Castle story, it's not bad.
It doesn't have like a lot of Punisher iconography to
No.
it, but like you don't need that to tell a Punisher story. A Punisher story can literally just be he rocks up to a town in the middle of nowhere, sees there's a gang in charge, and murders the fuck out of them while befriending the locals.
Yeah. But in this, it feels like if you take a few years from here, these would have been iconic Punisher characters because you could have easily turned that dude into Scarface.
Oh yeah, or the actor guy, he's
Yeah.
clearly like a proto oh god, what's
Microchip.
yeah, microchip. He's clearly like a proto microchip.
Like you could like there are elements that if you'd say, oh, this happened in like the mid 90s, you'd go like, oh, that's where that comes from. That's where that comes from. It's like, no, this was before all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And like
it understood the Punisher enough to like preemptively predict those plot elements that would eventually be put into the stories.
yeah, and even like the two detectives following him around, like they're not the same characters. They don't even have this like similar names, but they do have the same kind of vibe as the FBI characters that are following the Punisher around in the Netflix show.
Yeah. Like for all the shit you could give this movie, it's not a bad Punisher story.
Really, like the weirdest or like why the fuck did they make that choice kind of thing about it is you see Dolph Lundgren's bare ass in this movie.
Twice.
Yeah.
Because there's a moment, and this is like, I understand what they're trying to go for, of a man like just like struggling to figure out what's going on with the world, but it felt like very much like a Daredevil monologue of like,
Bit.
I asked God, what when will he punish the evil? God doesn't answer. Am
That's
I his
also
answer?
very clearly inserted after the fact in editing of like, oh, we don't have anything that sets up who this character is.
Yeah, but it's a good monologue. It's a good like little, yeah. It's he sees the world as damaged and it needs correcting. God, he's prayed to God. He hasn't answered. Maybe I'm his answer. Because that shows his like mild delusions that the Punisher always has. You have to always give that idea of like the Punisher is a crazy fuckhead.
He's not he's a genetic freak and he's not normal.
Yeah. And like his proclivity, call for God. No, you're hell. Hello, hell.
Hello, hell.
We're talking about this crazy ass fuck knuckin' movie.
Let's talk about something that's a little more like of this genre of like the kids in this movie and like the Punisher sort of kind of being friend to all children. How do you feel about that?
On the most part, the child actors were not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
The main boy that they got, he did okay. He did solid. Most of the rest of them are twee child actors.
Yeah. And they like only get like one line, if that.
Yeah. But like, yeah, no, that's understandable for the Punisher. It's like, because that's a big thing is he doesn't punish the innocent and
Though he has that moment where he's like, you seem like a good kid. Stay that way or I'll come for you. And it's like, fuck.
Yeah, no. Okay, honestly, that feels reminiscent of Punisher Daredevil. Not Punisher Daredevil, Punisher Deadpool. Because that storyline is the Punisher's going after basically the banker for all the gangsters. And he has a son who has a photographic memory, and that's who has all the banking information. So Deadpool's like, yo, no, that's a kid. And he's like, nobody has all the information. We need that. And like little bits of that. Of like, yeah, he would fucking murk a kid. If he feels like he has to.
Yeah, probably.
Dolph
I mean, I was half expecting there to be a twist where like Actor Man betrays him and then he just shoots him.
Fucking Actor Man though. What the man had a full scene where all he did was rhyme.
Yeah, that was clearly because isn't that the guy who gets the other like big credit on the poster besides Dolph Lundgren?
I don't know.
It felt like they were going like, oh, this guy is somewhat of a name, so we're just going to kind of let him do whatever he wants to do and get him in the movie as much as possible.
But I was watching that scene, I was like, all right, cool. And then like 3 seconds later, I was like, is this motherfucker rhyming?
Is this movie turning into a Busta Rhymes joint?
Is this motherfucker's rhyming?
Mm.
He was okay as like the informant junkie that the Punisher keeps around.
Not junkie, lush.
Yeah, he's an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm. Important distinction.
Yeah.
This movie is too afraid to talk about drugs, even though it's dealing with gangsters who are very obviously drug lords.
We got 600 kilos of junk. Wow, 600 Ks? Damn. Like, they never say what it is. It's just junk.
And they're all wearing like those fucking 1980s business suits that clearly make it seem like, oh, these guys sell cocaine, and they also do cocaine.
Yeah. And the fucking first place we see is a fucking cocaine mansion.
That sequence was really cool, really nice, like subtle setup.
Genuinely, the beginning of this movie is fucking phenomenal because it just is like, oh, Frank Castle's a movie monster. He's Freddy Krueger. He's Jason.
The only thing I didn't love about it is just like, why did the press start bum rushing the dude's house beyond the gate when they had no real indication that something was going on inside until it blowed up after that?
Yeah. That feels like it was like, oh, we need to fucking skip some pages. Fuck it, they're there.
Trying to think of something else I'd like to talk. I don't know. How do you feel about the detectives as characters?
The detectives are fine. I think they do the good job, and having someone who knows Frank before is like, oh, that's good. Of someone who's like, Frank, this wasn't you. What happened? It's like, Frank is dead.
Oh, you know what my favorite thing that shows how dated this movie is?
Is it the Orientalism?
The fucking Yakuza. And they have to explain what the Yakuza are.
The Yakuza. The what? Yakuza. Japanese mafia.
I think the guy says, like, initially he says the Yakuza, and the guy goes, Yakuza, you idiot.
But like, also, they are pure, oh no, Japan's gonna take over America one day fear of the late 80s.
Well, and like like, I'm sure that lady's a good actor, but like, she's just doing stereotypical
Dragon Lady
Asian mommy shit.
Yeah, she's just doing Dragon Lady. That's the actual name of the trope, Dragon Lady.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It is pure Dragon Lady. They break into the compound. There's fucking guards doing kendo. It is like, what Japanese shit can we put in here?
Oh, you know what would have been great? If the final boss of the movie had ended up being Silver Samurai.
That would have been the dumbest fucking pull. Oh, God. They wouldn't have the guts. They didn't even have the guts to put Dolph Lundgren in a Skull t-shirt.
No. There's no point in this movie where does he have the Punisher band?
No. He rides a motorcycle the whole time.
He doesn't have the Punisher band. He never wears any Skull paraphernalia. and he's just a guy in black named Frank Castle, and I think the Punisher is said by like
Press.
the press, yeah.
Like that's his like serial killer name.
And it's funny because there's also like a bunch of promotional art from when this movie was released on like DVD and digital a few years back that has like skulls photoshopped onto him.
You guys know who the Punisher is now. We need to actually make you understand that this guy's a Punisher.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Dolph Lundgren's like, I was in that movie? I remember He-Man more than that.
Yeah. There is some skulls. He has those knives that he uses that have
Oh,
skull.
yeah, that's right. I forgot about those.
Again,
that's cool, giving him like a calling card.
Which, yeah, because he's a serial killer. But like, having... This was definitively in the era where like you either had a big budget and you could do Superman and Batman, or you were piss afraid of what a comic book was and you had to hide it from everybody.
Again, it's very much of its time, though funnily enough, I think this movie could still work if you put it out today like direct to streaming.
Yeah, if you said like, oh, this is like an alternate Marvel Max, Marvel Knights kind of out of continuity Punisher thing.
Kevin Feige goes, "Oh, DC's doing Elseworlds as like a film imprint. Here's the first Marvel Knights, alternate universe take on a character, and it's the Punisher as an '80s action film."
And they just re-released this movie.
Yeah,
We got Dolph Lundgren. What? What do you mean you got Dolph Lundgren? Oh, you dumb son of a bitch.
and people like flip out. They're like, "Oh my god, Marvel's AI has gone too far. They've made an entire movie with '80s Dolph Lundgren," and it's like, "Fuckers, receipts."
This is from the 80s. But speaking of Dolph Lundgren, how do you feel he did as one Franklin Castle?
I actually really like his portrayal.
Genuinely, me too.
I don't know if it's my favorite, but it is really good. Like it gets that like just dead to the world, but inner turmoil that Frank has going on in the comics.
Yeah, there's also just like and like this is probably less because he's acting and more just because he doesn't want to be there, but there's a tiredness in his eyes.
And like I love like it's almost cartoonish, but I love the like ridiculously perfectly applied 5 o'clock shadow he has for the whole movie.
It's a solid portrayal. Like with this could not be a post Garth Ennis Punisher.
No.
Post Garth Ennis, no, this couldn't be the Punisher. You know,
But like
Barenthal, Thomas Jane. I never saw Warzone, so I don't know how that guy did. But like,
neither have I.
Thomas Jane and Barenthal are great Punishers for like a post Garth Ennis era. You know.
Yeah. But this guy, this is perfect classic Punisher.
Yeah. It like that jawline though, just nails like that.
Yeah.
That fucked up, handsome, painful dude.
Because that's the thing about like I wouldn't be surprised if they cast Dolph Lundgren purely on the fact that he's a name and he has a solid jawline. Because that's like outside of the skull iconography, that's one of the most distinctive things about the Punisher is his hard jawline that he always has.
Like, I hate to put it this way, but like to me, he has to be kind of like a Captain America looking dude. You have to have a person who could like if you dyed his hair brown and like clean him up, clean shave and put him in the blues, he could be Captain America.
I guess I could see that.
Because like realistically, with the more and more we've experienced of the Punisher, he is another dark reflection of Captain America. The soldier gone off to duty, but the world punishes him for it, so he takes it out on the world.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of what the Netflix Punisher does. I still haven't watched the second season, but the first season, there's a lot of shit about, like, veterans getting mistreated in that show.
Yeah. And you know what? That show should have had a lot more Captain America iconography then.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hopefully, hopefully he gets to come back in. Oh my god, that I just had the most fucking insane idea, and they're not going to do it because they're already shooting this movie, and we already know a lot about it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fucking the Punisher and Captain America: New World Order.
Oh my god. I would just love to see a scene with him and Sam, and just going like, "You're not Captain. You're not
Just
Captain America. The Shield says I am. No, no, no. You didn't go what through he did. I went through my share of wars. Yeah, but did you fight Nazis? I have now.
mhm. Man,
Like
I
all that
would.
back and forth.
We're never going to get Burnfall on screen with Evans. I think that ship is pretty
Yeah.
firmly sailed. But God, I would love to see him interact with Mackie.
Yo, what if they do that one storyline from Daredevil that involved like Nuke and have Punisher in there and have Sam do it too?
Oh yeah.
Like just do one full that boom.
I mean, the new Daredevil show is called Born Again, and that's the last couple issues of Born Again.
Yep. I think it'd be really cool to see.
Hmm.
But back to the Punisher, 1989.
It
Overall, yeah, go.
it's not a perfect movie. I wouldn't say like this is the thing you show people to get them interested in the Punisher, but as an alternate take, it's really solid. I
It's really
enjoyed my time
solid.
with it.
It's really solid, and like I always like growing up just heard it under the same breath of like the unreleased 90s Fantastic Four movie of like, oh yeah, this was before Marvel knew how to make movies and like they were all garbage. And it's like
Yeah,
this is a diamond in the rough, my dude.
yeah, this is pretty good.
Like compared to the Hulk straight to TV movies, this the one Spider-Man movie they made for TV and the Captain America movies they made for TV.
Yeah, this is great.
This is
Like,
the best of them.
I can imagine not liking this if you're just not into 80s action schlock at all, but fucking I am. One of my favorite movies is The Terminator.
Here's the thing. What I would love to see of this movie is I would have loved to have seen a more graphic version of it.
Oh yeah, this probably could have been rated R.
Like up the violence a little bit.
Hmm.
Um there is one thing I want to just say real quick because I remembered it and I was going like, what the fuck? What's going on here? When
Okay.
they're escaping the torture scene, when they're being stretched, Frank
Uh-huh.
gets out and he releases his actor friend, and they get one of the people who were pressing the buttons, and they go like, "All right, you're gonna talk." They strap him in. They get the information, and they go like, "All right, cool, we'll go save the kids." And they leave the button on, and then the camera zooms out, and the guy's wearing bright red high heels.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. What the fuck was that?
No idea
Was
why.
that was that supposed to be like a gay joke?
I don't know. You know what my thinking?
Because that is something I should also say about this movie. This movie, there's a
There's some
lot
slurs.
there's language in here.
It is of its time. It has the racism of its time. It has the slurs of its time. It's
There's I remember at least once at the beginning going like, oh, the F slur. I haven't heard that used nonchalantly in a minute.
yeah. No, what I think it is I think the movie was like when it was released, it cut down on the thing, and this is a restored cut that has all of the film in it, and the guy just was wearing heels, so he was taller in the scene.
Mm.
And then he was like, all right, get on the table for the next scene we're filming. And he didn't take off the shoes. And then when it's fully restored the frame,
Yeah,
it's accidentally in frame when it shouldn't be.
that makes sense. That yeah, I can see that totally being a thing. It's like that's a thing with a lot of older stuff. Just catching stuff outside of frame you didn't before, catching details in the background you didn't before because of Blu-ray restoration. Like I was watching the Red Letter Media videos on Picard season 3 last night, and there's like a huge tangent Mike goes on, just being like, "Hey, have you noticed since the Blu-rays for the Next Generation came out that there's a bunch of black construction paper on the screens in the background of the set because they noticed light was catching in the plexiglass?"
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
See, like, I would love if they do restorations like that. They just have like a, hey, we're gonna cut down the frame to how it was originally done. You can watch both versions, but here's like how it was intended to be viewed.
Mm-hmm. The problem is a lot of these companies just aren't that lazy. They go Blu-ray restoration, but in fact, it's just we put the negatives on the computer
With some slight updates. I mean, the print that we watched was solid enough.
Yeah,
It wasn't bad. It was good quality.
mm-hmm.
The film didn't degrade. No, it's again solid movie.
Yeah. Now, frickin' Iger, put this on Disney Plus.
This ain't going on Disney Plus.
If the Netflix shows can go on Disney Plus, this can.
I don't think they own the rights.
Buster, we started later than you thought we did.
Yeah, we had some technical issues.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
it's on Hulu.
Is it on Hulu?
Why didn't we watch it on Hulu? We got this for special methods.
I don't mind the special method because it was a clean copy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's not. You're saying they could put it on Hulu, right? Because Disney owns Hulu.
Yeah. Well, they own a majority of Hulu.
Yeah, so put it on Hulu if not Disney Plus.
No. What was I about to say? You know what's something like funny I kind of noticed with the credits, and you can kind of tell when they pan over the city at the end when the detective's going like Frank.
Mm-hmm.
This was filmed in Australia, I think.
Oh,
because it says in the beginning, from New something Pictures of Australia.
Oh yeah, I did notice that. I just didn't think about it.
And the final landscape, the final city we got, I'm pretty sure that's an Australian city. Because if you notice, there is an NEC company building there. And NEC, I don't think, has ever had a company building in America. NEC is Nihon Electronics Company. They're Japanese. They're a Japanese tech comp.
Yeah, I would have guessed that, or like they're the company that owns TV Nihon.
No, I think NEC were the people who made like the TurboGrafx 16, like the PC Engine.
Yeah,
like they.
I'm also completely joking because TV Nihon is a Tokusatsu fan subgroup.
I know. I was thinking you were talking about like the actual television station in Japan. That's something Nihon.
No, it's the channel that at least Toei Superhero Time airs on is TV Asahi.
Yeah, but I mean they have like their own. There is a TV channel in Japan called something Nihon, isn't there?
Probably, considering Nihon is their word for Japan.
Yeah. It's always weird when people don't realize the exonyms exist and go like, why do we call this place something different? Why do we call it Germany and it's actually called Deutschland? Because Germany is the English word for the country.
Yeah.
Deutschland's the German word for the country. I'm sorry, it's a thing that bugs me because exonyms are like a semi-important thing of international linguistic shit.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you kind of remind me of, I was listening to a podcast a while back where some people were talking about, like, possible future space travel stuff, and they brought up, like, would aliens still call our planet Earth, or would they call it something else? And it's like, well, maybe, but the whole reason we call our planet Earth is because Earth is another word for soil.
Yeah. And technically, like, we call the thing in the sky the sun. It has a name. It's called Sol.
Yeah.
Like we named it. It's called Sol. That's why eventually this would be like the Sol system.
Mm-hmm.
If we ever have like intergalactic politics.
Yeah. Thanks for teaching me that, X-Men.
We also got we have a name for Earth that they could use. Terra.
Yeah, that's right. Because like the new Transformers born on Earth in Earthspark are called the Terrans.
Yeah.
How about that?
I mean, that's what a lot of like Earth people in sci-fi stories get called. Like you hear Peter Quill be called a Terran all the time.
Oh yeah, that's right. I haven't actually thought about that before, but yeah, they have done that at least like once per
Like
film.
that's the modern. That's like the modern version of Earthling.
Mm.
You know, it's like it because Earthling sounds so 50s and dated. It's like no, we're Terrans.
You know what I would love to see in like a comic universe that's been around since the 50s? Just do like a little bit of world building. Earthling is like the old passively racist word for people from Earth, and Terran is the new politically correct word.
Oh, that'd be interesting, yeah. But hey, it's time for some news, baby.
Oh boy, we got a lot of adaptation news this week.
Oh, boom, we're getting started
We're
hot.
in it tonight, boys.
Jonathan, did it not go? Button didn't press. There it is. Jonathan Majors alleged victim granted temporary order of protection of head of court date. This is sort of news, but it's also not news because it's like, yeah, that tends to happen with these.
I saw some people freaking out about this, going like, "Oh, this might mean he's guilty." No, they do this in most cases like this, and it doesn't even mean like they're afraid this person is going to get hurt, so they're like having cops assigned to them. This literally just means the court is like, all right, we expect you to not to interact until the court date.
Yeah, it is a pretty standard procedure. Doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm. His court date is still a few days away. His court date is on Star Wars Day, so we'll hear. We might hear about that. It might get drowned out by like Lucasfilm saying fucking we're getting a whole ass deep fake Luke movie.
All you nerds won't shut up. Here's the fucking redheaded waifu of Luke.
Yeah,
we're killing her now.
We're gonna have de-aged Mark Hamill be in a movie where he has a romantic subplot with Emma Stone playing a character.
Honestly, that's what I think they want. Those fans want.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give a shit.
Also, I don't actually think that's who they go with. That's just like the most inappropriate actress I could think of for that.
Oh, and brilliant fucking news that makes my Floridian heart happy.
Party, 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 party. I am happy about this. Cause
Disney
fucking go into it.
Disney is suing Ron DeSantis. Basically saying like you are using your political power to impede our business. And it's Disney. And they have the best lawyers in the goddamn world. They single-handedly changed American copyright law.
Mm-hmm.
You think a fucking governor is going to have any kind of recourse?
One little white boy.
And here's the best thing. They aren't suing the state of Florida. They are not blaming Florida for this. They're blaming this fuckhead.
They're suing him personally.
Oh my god, it's the best fucking thing ever.
I don't think we need to explain it like too terribly much too, because this has been like even before this happened, his whole like campaign against Disney has been like a fairly
public thing.
And like I've heard people who aren't even remotely into like Disney or Marvel or Star Wars stuff talking about this.
Here's the thing. The best thing about all of this is Ron DeSantis is starting his presidential hopeful campaign. A few days after he fucking got sued by Disney, he released merch with his name spelled in the Disney font saying DeSantis is Florida. And just like, oh, you like Disney when you can make money off of it. You just don't like them because, yeah, all of your hypocrisy is bullshit.
Yeah, you're also like setting yourself up for even worse shit there because they can come after you copyright wise that way.
Oh, they can come after copyright, they can come after trademark, and they're just gonna wreck him. And here's the thing, here's the best thing.
This is already damaging him too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I've heard, I don't like watch Republican based news programs, but I've heard from like people who monitor that shit saying like the reaction on a lot of that stuff, like Fox News and whatnot, analyzing him has been going like, oh, yeah, DeSantis is fucked. Maybe we should back away from him slowly.
Because here's the thing, if he tries to continue his presidential race while being sued by Disney, this man will be destitute.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to bleed him fucking dry.
And here's the thing. Fuck it. Let's just get blatantly political here. I would prefer that Joe Biden get reelected this year.
Yes.
But if it came down to like a choice of DeSantis or Trump again, I would genuinely take Trump again. That's how much I hate DeSantis, just from like hearing about him.
Because here's the thing, he's a little bit more of a competent Trump.
Mm-hmm. And that makes him scarier.
Yes. But Disney, the enemy of our enemy is our friend.
Disney is a well-oiled machine that will stomp that fucker into the ground.
Oh, it's going to be glorious.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think Disney would want to settle.
No.
Disney's just going to go like, no, we're not settling. We're taking this to court.
They're like, fucker, we tried to play nice with you for a fucking year, and you kept dicking us around. You fucked around, now you're going to find out.
Oh, God. I can't, like... I hope to God this also means that his, hopeability of, like, staying the governor of Florida is just out of the window.
Yeah.
Like...
Because, like... Florida is, I think we can both admit, because, like, I lived there for 5 years, you currently live there, you've lived there most of your life.
Yep.
Florida is very far from the best state in this country.
No. Yeah.
It has a lot of problems. But a lot of the major, like, what the fuckedness of the last few years since he's elected has been the direct result of him doing shit.
Yep. And with a lot more people kind of being soured on DeSantis because of all... Because here's the thing. Whether we like to admit it or not, a lot of Floridians do have a soft spot in their hearts for Disney. Because it's right there. They, like, whenever, like, Florida residents get cheaper tickets sometimes. So on and so forth, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, you grow up, you get a field trip to Epcot. Like, yeah. And they are one of the highest employers in the state of Florida. This man is jeopardizing a majority, like a large portion of Floridians' jobs.
I mean, there are really two economic hubs in Florida. There's Orlando and there's Miami.
I would say there's a couple. There's Orlando, Jacksonville, Tampa, and Miami.
True, but like I didn't hear about Jacksonville until friggin' AEW became a thing.
Jacksonville's much more of a hub city. It's more of like a port city.
Mm-hmm. I've known about Orlando my entire life, and I've known about Miami for I'd say about half my life.
And then there's Tampa.
Tampa, I literally only know about because that's where a lot of your sports ball teams are located.
I mean, there's also a great hockey team. And it's just fucking hilarious. I just can't wait to see what happens through all of this.
I know it's only like tangentially related to this podcast, but fuck it. We wanted to talk about it, so I was going to put it on the news.
Next up, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania Disney Plus release date officially announced. It's sometime in May.
Yeah, it's going to be in a couple weeks. So those of you who didn't want to buy a digital copy or partake in our special methods, you can listen to last week's episode in a couple weeks.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah. At least now we have a good idea of what the delay is going to be going forward.
Yeah. Mila Kunis says she knows cast of Marvel's Fantastic Four reboot.
Yeah, so this is something I normally wouldn't put in here, but it's technically a follow-up to a story we did months ago where Mila Kunis was spotted having lunch with the guy who's directing Fantastic Four, and a lot of people started speculating that she might be in the movie to some capacity. And like for the last couple days, the rumors ramped up for some reason of like people saying, "Oh, she's gonna be Sue Storm," or like literally the day this video came out, before it came out, people were randomly talking about she might be playing a gender bent Ben Grimm, and then she was on the James Corden show last night, and he asked her about it, and she went, "Yeah, we had lunch because we're friends. I'm not in that movie at all. I don't know how that rumor started. I'm not that I have no involvement with Marvel right now. I know who does. I know the cast because he told me, but I'm afraid of the mouse, so I'm not going to tell you."
Okay, whatever. Cool.
Mhm.
They have
Yeah,
a cast idea in place.
rumor squashed basically.
Yeah. WandaVision's Agatha spinoff features multiple musical numbers. That's cool.
Yeah, apparently the people making the show they did an interview for something else recently, and they got asked about it, and they were like, "Is there going to be another It Was Agatha all along moment?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, we're doing a lot of songs for the show because that was such a big moment on social media."
And then, like, sure, like at this point in time, let Marvel explore what other kinds of things. Like they made a horror thing. They're doing all the crazy stuff. Let them do a musical.
He also said in the interview, interestingly enough, they're trying to make as much of it practical effects as they can. Like he says, there's going to be very little CGI in the show, which is interesting for a show about somebody who uses magic.
Yeah, but hey, why not do something interesting?
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that. Josh Gad has reportedly been cast in Wonder Man.
Yeah, so this is technically a rumor, but it comes from a podcast that has reported rumors that have come to pass in the past. So it's somewhat credible, but we don't know anything beyond like, hey, these people have heard from their source that he's going to be in it to some extent, and like I don't hate Josh Gad. I don't like any of the characters he's played so far, but that's more like a writing story structure type thing for me. I think he's a competent actor, so hopefully he gets a cool thing to do in this if he's actually in it.
Here's the thing. That's even if he's a character. Remember, Wonder Man's an actor.
Mm,
What if he's playing Josh Gad?
that would be great.
What if he's Josh Gad as Josh Gad?
Oh my God, Wonder Man doesn't get the role as LaFoot, is it from the live action Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah. Or like he's his co-star in whatever they're filming.
Yeah, there's this halfway through the show, Wonder Man gets a role on a sitcom as the supporting character for Josh Gad.
Because it didn't say character. Marvel's Blade recruits True Detective creator for the script. All right, cool.
Apparently, a guy who's friends with Masha Ali, because they both worked on a season of True Detective, has been brought on to work on the script now. Wow, this movie has had a lot of like production issues.
Yeah, but hey,
Hope,
hopefully it'll come out good at the other end.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Spider Within, a Spider Verse story, animated short to go with the movie.
Yeah, we're still not 100% sure if it's like playing before the movie or if it's going to get its own kind of release, but just more like confirmation it is going to be released to some extent, and we also have a plot synopsis in the next link.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's coming out with the like not coming out with the movie, but hey, it's in conjunction with the movie.
Hmm.
Follows Miles as he experiences a panic attack, which forces him to confront the manifestations of his anxiety and learn that reaching out for help can be just as brave an act as protecting the city from evil.
Something tells me the people making the Spider-Verse movies are also reading the current Miles comic.
Yeah, but all right, cool.
Yeah, sounds good.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse to feature Andy Samberg. He
He's voicing
plays.
Ben Riley,
He's voicing Ben Riley. You
and
know
he's
what?
probably going to be in like one scene.
But you know what? That's twice now these animated things have made Peter Parker voiced by a Jewish man and have made Peter Parker Jewish. I think that's neat.
Mm.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but that's true. That's cool.
Spider-Man spin-off, Kraven the Hunter, lands an R rating.
So they showed a teaser for this at CinemaCon, which was happening this past week, which is basically like E3 for Hollywood shit. And it's very like hush hush, you can't get photos out kind of a thing. Like E3 used to be back in the day before the internet kind of ruined E3, basically. Um, and the teaser was reportedly like a lot of like quick shots. Aaron Taylor Johnson does wear the vest,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also bloody as fuck. Like he brutally murders an entire convoy of soldiers in the Serengeti. And then there's like a few quick shots of a guy looking like he's transforming into something. And then he says, I bet you didn't know why they call me the Rhino. The Rhino
Huh.
is the main villain of this movie, and it's rated R.
Okay. Sure.
I don't know. This movie seems bizarre. I don't know what to make of it, but hopefully it's all right.
Warner Brothers says no more direct-to-streaming movies for Max.
Yeah, this was out of CinemaCon as well. They basically opened their panel by saying, like, hey, uh, we're sorry that the previous leadership did a thing that really pissed off theaters. We're going to bend over backwards to make theaters happy with us again. So we're not doing any streaming originals for a good while, at least.
Shows will do, movies we won't, I imagine.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, definitely.
And finally, Amber Heard is not cut out from Aquaman 2 despite rumors.
There was a teaser shown at CinemaCon, and she was in several shots.
Yeah.
I'm upset.
Yeah.
Because, like, it makes no reason to have delayed this movie so much now.
Mm-hmm. Jason Momoa says Aquaman and the Last Kingdom strayed from his original treatment.
Yeah, he got interviewed at a CinemaCon event that wasn't one of the actual Warner Brothers panel, and they asked him like stuff about Lost Kingdom, and apparently he and the co-writer originally wrote like an 80-page treatment that was going to be about Aquaman taking on the US government for not coming on down hard enough on pollution, and Warner Brothers basically went, yeah, we can't make this movie, and they completely changed the plot, only keeping in a few small things, but they're still crediting him for the story, and he's like, that's kind of bullshit. I don't like that they basically didn't do anything with my idea, and I'm like, my dude, I know you're an actor by trade, but like, I've watched interviews with screenwriters a lot. That's basically how the Hollywood process works. You write a script and then they say, that's great, we'll buy that, and we're going to make a movie that kind of resembles it.
Yeah, unless you were doing it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I would love to see, though?
That movie.
Him getting a chance to do it as a comic book.
Yeah, there's a good idea, DC.
Get a Black Label. Just make it like super hard R. Just do it as like, hey, this is the movie we couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Batman Cape Crusader drops dark first look at Heroes Design.
There's a very small, like, grainy image of it that should be in a tweet that yeah, there it is. They showed like a slate of animation projects they're working on, and you can kind of see an idea of what Caped Crusader might actually look like in there.
It very much looks like a modern reinterpretation of the same references that BTAS had.
Yeah, I mean, if I remember correctly, it's literally Kevin Smith and Bruce Timm working together to like make their ultimate Batman show that they couldn't make back in the day.
Whatever. Let's see if it's interesting.
Huh?
First look at Merry Little Batman. Film follows Batman Alfred and young Damian Wayne, now known as Little Batman, as they navigate the fun frustrations of life as a super family.
Yeah, and it's apparently going to be like a Christmas themed short.
That fucking designs, what the fuck?
Yeah, I like the premise. The premise sounds fun as like a watch it with your kids type thing. I hate this animation style. This looks disgusting to me.
Like, this is Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing: the animation, the style, I can tell it's not going to be bad. It's the character designs. It's like that's okay for a small, cute little kid. Like that's meant to be like a very obviously exaggerated superhero physique and stuff.
Like a centaurial sort of fodder figure.
This looks like drawing an old man in a children's book, but that's not what Alfred is.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm just gonna say it. His fucking head looks like your scrotum after you've been in the pool for 6 hours.
Oh god. But hey, at least it's no good to know that the Crimson Chin is getting work still.
I was genuinely not expecting that. That was a good reference. Way to go, buddy.
We'll see what happens. It looks cute enough.
Hopefully it's all right.
Yeah. We got another Flash trailer. I didn't watch this. Let's just skip through
it shows us a lot of the same, just with like some new voice clips and a few new shots here and there.
Yeah, look at that fuckhead.
Yeah, the big definitive thing out of this is very much a movie about Barry Allen and people telling Barry Allen that he's a good boy and he made the right choice trying to save his mom. So just they're literally doing Jeff Johns' shitty take on Barry Allen. But the big takeaway I had was Michael Keaton is definitely playing straight up Bruce or Tim Burton 89 Batman, where only 89 and Returns are in continuity, and he's Bruce Wayne. Because he full on says, like, oh, my parents got killed, and I couldn't save them, and that's what made me Batman in this trailer. So, there's no way he's playing Thomas Wayne.
Yeah, shame.
Which, making it just straight up nostalgia, which kind of kills it for me, if I'm going to be honest. I am a little, like... I still think this movie could be good. But I'm not as excited about it as I was after the Super Bowl teaser.
Yeah. But the Flash screened an unfinished cut at CinemaCon, and people had reactions.
People were like, "It is a movie." People are perpetuating the Warner Brothers Inside narrative of it's the best superhero movie ever made.
And James Gunn just answered a question of like, what would he like to see in his Superman cast? Just good guy. You want to give him a hug.
And fuckboys responded to that saying, James Gunn should make his own original character then. He shouldn't try and ruin Superman.
Read a comic.
Yeah.
Read any comic, please.
Also, the guy who said literally that tweet, like that tweet went viral as a response to this of people dunking on him and going, look at comic Superman, you idiot. But the guy who made that tweet, his name was literally Kyle Hunter.
Ugh.
The two douchiest white boy names.
But hey, James Gunn knows his Superman. At this point in time, I am super confident in what his Superman's gonna be.
Yeah, especially because the next article is him saying, yeah, it's not gonna be a comedy.
Yeah, not a comedy. Heartfelt. I think it would look something that would be happening in about 10 years.
I'm sorry. This is something else. I forgot about this. He got asked if there's going to be a crossover between Marvel and DC, and he said, it's possible, but we need like 10 years to get our shit together first.
Yeah, it's possible. Anything is possible given the almighty dollar.
Mm-hmm.
God. That would hurt people. I know it would.
Yeah.
Justice League War World casted animated movie. Yeah,
this is the next DC direct to I guess streaming now. I don't even know if they make physical DVDs for these anymore. But it's the next one of these. It's from the same director of Legion of Superheroes, and it's in that same art style. But it's the Justice League get transported to Warworld and encounter Mongol for the first time. And it's a lot of the same actors they've been using for these characters before. But there's some interesting kind of fun castings here and there. Like frickin' Jonah Hex and Batlash are going to be in this movie to some extent. Also, the guy that they got to play Mongol is the same dude who voices Zemo in Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a fucking cowboy?
Yeah, you don't know about Batlash?
No.
Batlash is a good old boy. He's going to be in an episode of Justice League. We'll talk about him.
John DiMaggio as Lobo.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
Say what? I know some people aren't like the biggest fan of John DiMaggio's, but I think that's a solid role for him.
Yeah. And next up we have other news. So give me a second to
It's time for comic news on the Comic Podcast, everybody. But while Boingo's getting that all hot and ready, let me do a quick little shill and remind you all that if you enjoy the No Prize Podcast, you should give us a like. If you're watching live right now, type something fun in the chat for us to react to. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and leave down a comment. Help us out in that YouTube algorithm. Subscribe, ring the bell in order to enable notifications and get every instance of us going live alerted to you as it happens. And you can also keep up with what we're doing by following us on social media. We're on Twitter at the Modular Media. We're on Reddit r/Modular Media, and we're on Tumblr at Modular Media. Just kind of keeping you apprised of everything Modular Media is doing, because the No Prize Podcast is only a small part of the vast network of trying to be successful as content creators that Modular Media is.
You done sucking your own dick?
I am.
Marvel's original Ultimate Wolverine and Jean Grey return in Ultimate Invasion art.
So I don't know if it was like said somewhere before, but like this is the first place I heard that the Ultimate Universe project that Hickman is working on is called Ultimate Invasion. And this was like the first confirmed characters they're bringing back is that universe's Jean Grey and Wolverine.
Which is weird, because last I remember, that version of Wolverine had died.
Yeah. What are you doing, John? What are you cooking? What's going on
And
here?
the Wolverine was his son. But hey. Marvel reveals new look at What If Dark. That's most What If stories, guys. Loki, but as Thor.
Yeah, what if Loki was worthy of the hammer? Which is written by Walt Simonson, by the way. Ooh, they got him back for that.
That's cool. Cover was also drawn by Walt Simonson. Nice.
Yeah.
What if Spider-Gwen? All right, cool, whatever.
It is what if Peter died on the night that Gwen died, and then Gwen in 616 became Spider-Gwen.
Also, dear God, thank God Land isn't doing the interiors.
No, it's a Greg Land cover, but the interiors are some other guy, and I'm actually kind of interested in this one.
Venom, but it's Ben Grimm.
Yeah, I think the actual premise is what if Ben Grimm became Spider-Man, but I guess they're going to be doing some Black Costume Saga in that as well.
A Moon Knight story.
What if Mark Spector died before he could become Moon Knight? And what if somebody else was Moon Knight, basically?
Yeah. All right, cool.
Some solid what if premises.
I wish they would use the Chip Zdarsky logo and continue that, please and thank you.
But this is what we're getting, and I'll check out that Spider-Gwen
one. Green Arrow is going to get a second arc.
Yeah, apparently the first issue sold so well, and there were so many pre-orders for the second issue that DC extended it. It was supposed to be a 6-issue mini. Now it's going to be 12 issues, and they say if it continues to sell well, they might make it an ongoing.
Congratulations, Green Arrow fans.
I am... Oh God, we'll get to it later, but I am so fucking happy this week about Green Arrow shit.
DC announces new Blue Beetle comic ahead of the movie. Cool.
Yeah, this is going to be an ongoing that's going to be starting, I think, the month before the movie comes out. And it's going to be the same creative team from Blue Beetle Graduation Day, which just wrapped up.
I mean, good. I mean, I heard Blue Beetle fans have enjoyed that, but it's nice to see. Yeah, hey, Blue Beetle's doing good. People are liking it. Let's keep doing it.
Yeah, I'm not a big Jaime guy. I don't know enough about him to really know if I like him or not, but I'm glad that his fans are eating well this year.
Yeah. Someone has to be eating well from Teenage Heroes, because Spider-Man aren't.
Oh
Marvel
boy.
announces new Power Girl and Fire and Ice series.
Yeah, so this is funny because like I literally read Action this week and was like, where the fuck did the Power Girl backup go? And then an hour later, this got announced.
Yeah, but like they also said like, oh yeah, Power Girl's gonna have like a one-shot issue to wrap up her story.
Yeah, she's gonna have a one shot and then she's getting I believe it's an ongoing. It might be a mini, I'm wrong, but it's still gonna be Leah Williams, but I think there's going to be a different artist. And then Fire and Ice are getting a new book, which I think is going to be a mini called Fire and Ice Welcome to Smallville, where um Guy does some fuckboy shit during a Justice League mission, and Superman basically goes like, you two need to lay low for a while we deal with him and the fiasco he's made for us. Here, go to my hometown." And Ice is like, "Oh, the simple life, that might be nice." And Fire is like, "Get me the fuck out of here, this is boring." Uh, that's the premise as far as I understand it. And I think it's interesting. I'm gonna check out both of these. I'm interested to see where Power Girl's story continues to go. I I don't know how to feel about the page thing sticking, but it's not the end of the world. People have had name changes before, and like it's very obviously just because Karen is a meme name now.
Yeah, but it's also kind of like to separate her more from Kara and kind of define her more as her own character
Hmm.
for people who aren't aware of like the characterization of Power Girl.
Yeah.
This is twofold.
Well, hopefully these two books will be good.
IDW makes major cuts to the workforce. This is unfortunate.
This really sucks. As I understand it, it's like 48% of their staff.
Yeah, and it's a lot of the marketing and the ad departments. So it's not like they're firing writers, you know.
Yeah, nobody you know got fired because they're all technically independent contractors.
Mm.
But a lot of people who work really hard to make sure the books get into your hands and are as polished as they can be are no longer with IDW, and that sucks because comic industry jobs are kind of hard to keep anyway.
Yeah. But hey, hopefully IDW comes out the other end of this. Losing the Transformers license probably did not help.
Yeah,
Like they lost a couple licenses, and I mean
they're
they got Sonic that can keep them running.
yeah, but I feel like they're going to be in kind of a recuperating period for a while.
Yeah. Boom. Is to talk what Jesus.
So basically, they posted
This
an update to
website
their.
is god awful to fucking read. Look at this shit.
I used to be friends with the people that run this website.
It doesn't mean it's not god awful.
Oh, yeah, it's funny to hear somebody else say it when I've been thinking it for years. Um, this is the only place that had an actual article about this because Boom Studios posted an update to their Power Rangers 30th anniversary Kickstarter, basically saying like, "Hey, it's been so successful that people have reacted so positively to the fact that Amy Jo Johnson is going to write a comic book that there's now going to be an 8-page prequel story to her comic book in our Power Rangers 30th anniversary special out in a couple of months." So, yay!
Cool, whatever.
Yeah.
And we're getting a Creed comic.
Yeah, apparently Boom Studios got the license and they actually have a writer and artist that have been having discussions with Michael B. Jordan about writing a Creed comic that's set 30 years after Creed 3.
Ooh.
So this book is essentially going to be a story that is to Creed as Creed is to Rocky.
That's cool. I don't mind that. Also, I have some like like this might be really cool because Michael B. Jordan is a fan of like boxing manga.
Mm.
And he may go like, "Yo, this is the kind of stuff I want to be influence this." Like Hajime no Ippo,
Ashita
Joe.
no Joe.
Yeah.
That's the one I know.
Megalobox.
Yeah.
Megalobox is a sci-fi like reimagining of the Joe one.
Oh no, you told me about Megalobox back when it was airing.
Yeah. Also, can I just mention the fucking Punch Out cover?
Yeah.
This like they are hitting all the like good fucking. They're nailing the character. He looks like Michael B. Jordan.
Like this should probably be really good for Creed fans. I'll go ahead and say I'm not going to be reading this because I haven't actually watched the Creed movies yet because I never finished watching the Rocky series back when I tried to do that when I was a teenager. So this doesn't really hold a whole lot of interest for me, but it seems like a really interesting project that should probably be a pretty like a layup for Boom, basically.
Oh yeah, and like this action stuff looks really good. It looks really solid.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Hopefully it's good. We'll hear from it.
Yeah.
Mattel Hasbro Inc. licensing pack to create co-branded toys and games.
Yeah, this is going to transition us into the toy news, and this technically doesn't really affect anything Marvel or DC related because the DC license for general U.S. retail is at Todd McFarlane Toys and Spin Masters right now. It left Mattel a few years ago, but Hasbro does still have Marvel. However, this deal, while it is insane and like a landmark thing because this is the two biggest retail toy companies in North America teaming together for like the first time ever. I don't think this is going to involve Marvel on any level because Marvel is a property that Hasbro licenses from Marvel Comics. It's not a property they actually own. I think this is purely going to be
toy IPs.
property toy IPs that Mattel and Hasbro actually own. So you might see like Masters of the Universe versus the Transformers, but I don't think you'll see like a what's a good example? I don't think you'll see a Scarlet Witch Barbie doll out of this.
No,
basically.
like here's the thing: they've done Scarlet Witch Barbie dolls though.
Yeah,
Well, Barbie like dolls. What this is going to be more often than not is probably going to be Transformers branded Uno cards.
yeah. They announced three things out of this. There's going to be, I think it's a. There's going to be a Barbie Monopoly. There's going to be Transformers Uno, and there's also going to be Transformers Hot Wheel cars.
Yeah, like it's gonna be like the easy things of just like it's Hasbro and Mattel treating their IPs like they like other IP holders treat their IPs.
Mm-hmm.
We're licensing it out for like merch.
Yeah, there's only like one thing out of this that I was really like able to think like, oh, to me that would be really cool to see, and that's like a Transformers collaborative He-Man toy that is a Pan-4 that transforms into Skeletor and a Battle Cat that transforms into He-Man.
Like, yeah, cool, but like it's probably going to be more often than not G.I. Joe Uno and.
Yeah, it's not going to be anything that really affects this show, but it was a big news story, and I saw some people going like, "Could this mean anything for Marvel Legends?" So I figured we'd just real quick mention, probably not.
Yeah, we're gonna. It's more likely we're gonna see That would be hype though. GI Joe vehicles as Hot Wheels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, boy.
They should do that if the Transformers ones sell well.
Oh yeah. What we got? Some SH figure arts. Green Goblin Far From Home. No.
Yeah, we saw this at a show a few months back, but it went up for pre-order this week. They're actually going to release it. It is a P-Bandai exclusive, so it's going to be stupid expensive, but it looks pretty dang good. It looks really accurate to the film. My only complaint with this thing, and it's just like a minor, come on, missed opportunity type thing. There's an unmasked head, and it's a really good likeness to Willem Dafoe, but it's not like one of the really cool meme expressions he had in the movies. It's just like a blank calm expression. Like the most you could do is like say this is I'm something of a scientist myself face.
Yeah. But hey, looks good. It looks really good. It looks solid.
Yeah, and this is also the first like 1/12 scale option we've had for this version of the character. So uh Legends team, where you at? Chop chop.
Guardians 3 SH Figure Art, Star Lord and Rocket.
Yeah, these guys are going to be a two-pack. They're going to be a regular release, but we have no idea if they're doing the rest of the team or not. These are just like here's the two most bankable characters. Um, and I think they look pretty good. They definitely look better than the original like Guardians of the Galaxy 1 SH figure arts of these characters. But Bandai has had a weird thing. Figuarts has had a weird thing specifically with actor likenesses lately. That just does not look like Chris Pratt to me.
I no, it
Um,
looks like Chris Pratt to me. It just it looks like Chris Pratt on like a weird day.
mm, um, and like these should be really solid figures. It's Figuarts. They look actually a little more accurate to the film. Color shading wise than the legends do because those are more of like a brighter blue, and in the movie it's a little more muted like this. Um, but like I'll probably not get them at any point, but
Yeah.
I do like engineering wise. I think it's a really smart choice to have rockets holding the gun's hands just molded to the guns. It's not a really small fiddly piece you got to thread the gun into.
Yeah. That's good.
Mhm.
SH Figure Arts, Bandai, Spider-Man 2099.
Yeah, this was actually just shown for the first time at the Tamashi World Tour New York City event that happened on Saturday. And it looks really good. Really cool that they gave a world premiere to a design at a event not held in Japan. No word yet on if they're actually going to release it or not, but it's a Figure Arts prototype. Spider Verse has been selling like crazy for import companies lately, so I would be surprised if this doesn't get a full
Oh
release.
yeah. Marvel Legends, Black Knight and Cersei, 2-pack.
Yeah, this two pack went up for pre order this week. We've already seen it thanks to that live stream from now a couple months ago. But
Yeah. If you want 90s Black Knight and Cersei,
oh no, toy fucking Aki! Ah!
you only got a couple toys left.
Yeah, and I mean like this. I think this look for Cersei is better than her like classic swimsuit look.
Yeah. I like the knee pads. They're neat.
Yeah.
You can recreate the time they went to Malibu Comics.
Hey.
Walmart exclusive, Joe Fixit.
Yeah, this was a surprise this week. They're finally giving us a comic book Joe Fix It because they gave us a Gamerverse one based off of that terrible Avengers game as a Build-A-Figure back when that game came out. And everybody literally bought that and went, this is a nice placeholder, but we want a comic version. And so now, finally, here is a comic version that is just the friggin' Kingpin body with it in the appropriate suit colors. And now you can have the hands from the Hulk figure and two newly sculpted heads. And I think that Tommy gun is a new piece too.
It looks good though. This is what Joe Fixit should look like.
Yep. I'm pretty sure Cody is already frothing at the mouth over this.
Yeah, Joe Fixit is like one of his favorite version of the Hulk.
Sucks that it's a Walmart exclusive though, because like those have been getting better this year, but they're still pretty hard to get a hold of.
Todd, Captain Atom.
Yeah, Todd's been doing a good job at like getting to Justice League International out recently through Gold Label. And while this technically isn't that version of Captain Atom, Captain Atom looks basically the same in New 52 as he did in Post Crisis. So
A
this is
pretty good
perfectly fine.
evergreen.
Yeah, you can buy this and stick it on any kind of shelf as long as you're.
We've gotten a lot more evergreen. Are you thinking about dipping in and getting a couple characters? Not necessarily collecting the line, but just going like, this is a character I like and I would like to have a figure of.
I won't lie, him getting more evergreen has tempted me a little, but the fact that they're still way out of scale with Legends and the articulation doesn't play all that well from the reviews I've seen has me going like, you know what? I'm glad people are getting what they've been asking for, but this still isn't going to be my DC line.
That is fair. I just thought I would check in.
Yeah, no, nice of you to do that.
Next up, we have a Judge Dredd from Hiya Toys.
Yeah, after like a year of Hyatt Toys going like, hey, look at all these cool 1/18th scale 3 3/4 inch Judge Dredd toys. We're gonna do 1/12 scale 6 inch eventually. They finally showed us their 6 inch Dredd this week, and he looks really dang good, especially because they're doing the freaking Mezco thing and giving him a cloth bodysuit, so there's no joints.
Look at this beautiful fascist. Look at him.
The only thing, because like this looks great, it comes with a ton of accessories. The only thing that I'm like, I don't know about this. There's no poses with him like really doing all too much with his legs, so I wonder if that bodysuit is really limiting.
Here's the thing: Judge Dredd doesn't do a lot of things with his legs.
Yeah, I know he's not like a crazy dynamic character, but like that's part of the appeal of toys is being able to make characters do things they don't normally do sometimes.
He sits in his motorcycle and he stomps around.
Yeah. That being said though, as far as 6 inch goes, I think this is going to be your best bet for a Judge Dredd going forward. I think anybody who likes Judge Dredd and collects 6 inch should pre-order this, because the only other option there really is the Mezco, and that thing's like $200 because it comes with the motorcycle. This is going to be $90.
But hey, it looks really good. Judge Dredd is always cool to see Judge Dredd's toys.
Yeah. And that's the news. We did the news.
That's the news, baby.
And also, while we were doing the news, guess what happened?
What?
It became May.
Oh, it is May. It's gonna be May.
It is May.
It's May.
Oh my.
May. Does not come with his cock accessory.
That's gonna be an SDC exclusive, Aki.
All right, time for some comics. Comics.
What a week of comics. Wait, before we get into it, I do want to say, I haven't read this week's Gwenpool. It did not get updated in time to hit my cutoff. I've seen the spoiler. I'm a little mixed on it without the context. I need to see the context to really know how I feel about it.
All right. First things first. Action Comics.
Hey, this issue fucks.
This issue fucking fucks.
It was so good. The fucking I just want to jump to the reveal. Fucking Cyborg Superman is back. It all makes sense.
Cyborg Superman is back and he was using Metallo.
Mm-hmm.
And Superman's just like, hey, Metallo, shit's fucked, but like I will help
the twin didn't fly off the handle. They had a perfectly good reason for attacking those people.
Yeah, they were Metallos.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get kidnapped, and John's like, no, I need to save them because they were thinking I hated them, and they need to know I don't. I need to save them.
And for the first time in a good while, we get a really good fucking father-son moment, guidance moment between Clark and John, of him just grabbing John and being like, look, it's not your fault, okay? Could have happened to anybody, and I need you to go do this because it's more important right now. I will find them. It's gonna be fine.
But you can totally understand John going like, no, I need to save them because they need to know that I love them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, oh. And the fight with Metallo is great.
Yeah. They did, Metallo and Cyborg Superman did not fuck. But
Metallo thought they were gonna fuck, but Cyborg Superman was just egging him on.
Yeah, Cyborg Superman kind of like pulled an Alien on Metallo here. Because he's like, I just had you do a bunch of shit so I could get a new body, bitch.
Yeah, but God...
Also, Superman has a stand now?
No. Here's the thing. I think this is an extension of his biotelepathy.
Oh yeah, that's definitely
near fear biotelepathy.
It's drawn like a fucking stand.
It's not a stand. That's Susanoo from Naruto. Superman is Sasuke.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, that's hype. That's cool. I
The
love how
only complaint I really have about it is just it does feel slightly rushed because the fact that it's one out of three stories in a comic.
yeah. Aki's with me. It's not a stand, it's Susanoo.
Damn. All right. I guess I don't read enough shonen manga. Sorry.
The backups were cute enough. The John one was fine.
The John one was fine right up until the twist. The twist, I was like, oh, that's really tropey, and I don't know if I like that.
It's predictable, but it's a backup. It's meant to be. It's meant to be just be kind of like there. And the
And
steel.
once I got over the fact that the Steel one wasn't Power Girl, I was like, oh, this is a solid Steel story. All right.
Oh yeah, it's really good steel.
The dialogue is maybe like a bit too slangy. Once Natasha shows up, she's just like saying fucking TikTok words over and over again, and I'm like, I don't know if that's how Natasha should sound, but whatever.
I like how it's like, yo, your suit's old. I could do it. And it's like, nah, I'm a hero. I need the help.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. Good book. Good comic.
Good month of action.
Action be good. We both read Green Arrow.
Oh, you read this! So, okay, before we get into it, I have to know, like, how much of a Green Arrow fan are you?
Okay, I'll be honest. I watched like the first 3 seasons of the show, even though I know that's a Batman show, not a Green Arrow show.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Green Arrow and Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah, see, okay. We talk about Supergirl a lot, but Green Arrow is the other character that got me into DC via Justice League Unlimited. I love all of his episodes. I've seen them multiple times. I also watched the first 3 seasons of Arrow before rage quitting it. Because I wanted I was just waiting for it to turn into a real Green Arrow show, and it apparently never did, from what I heard. But I've also read like a bunch of all these comics. I'm really bad. I've never read one of the runs all the way through. I want to read the Mike Grell run at some point, and the Kevin Smith run. But I've read bits and pieces, and I know like the history of the character inside and out. He is definitely my Scrimblow. I love the Green Arrow family, and that's why this is my fucking book of the week. They totally nailed it. This gave me everything I could have possibly wanted. It is Goat Raw Swag Kino out the gate.
It is really good. I enjoyed a lot of it, and I knew just enough about like Green Arrow continuity where it wasn't like, oh, I'm completely lost. It's like, oh no, I know Black Canary, I know Connor, I know kind of Roy's giant deal. Like I didn't.
And the book does take a moment because Ollie narrates this whole issue. And he takes a moment to go like, okay, here are the 3 most important people in my life and the basic things you need to know about them.
I didn't know that Roy had lost his daughter. I thought.
Okay. Do you want the full explanation?
If it takes an hour to do, no. If you can do it in like 5 minutes, yes.
I think I can fit it in 5 minutes.
Okay.
His daughter fucking died. She got killed in a pre 52 event, and it was a big stupid thing, and people got really mad about it, and they teased bringing her back multiple times, but it never happened. And then when they rebooted in 52, obviously we got Trucker Hat Douchebag Roy, and I kind of tuned out of his character for a long time, but apparently there's been rumblings both in and out of continuity of Leanne coming back for a long time. And here she's just back with no explanation, but it's totally fine because they treat it as like the big moment it should be. Like I legit was tearing up on those pages.
The explanation is Rebirth and Dark Knight's Metal and Dark Crisis and
continuity fucked up. She's back now, and she's a little bit older because she was legit like 5 or 6.
And now she's like a young teen.
Yeah. She was in the Catwoman book. That's where she got brought back. Okay.
This is where she's being reintroduced to the family, though.
Yeah, and like it is such a perfect moment.
But the big twist is Ollie's on an island again.
Yeah, because that's how every Green Arrow run starts. Is he either goes back to the island or he goes to a island or a metaphorical island.
This one's like the future or something.
Yeah, like at the end, Leanne gets transported to wherever he is at, and he's been there a while, and he's like, "Fucking shit's going down. Just come with me. This could take us back, but it's bad, so I'm gonna blow it up.
Come with me, granddaughter." Have they ever had a lot of interaction in the past?
I want to say they've had like a few scenes together, but I don't know for sure.
Okay.
Because unlike this issue makes it clear too. It has always been very much been a thing of like, Roy is my protege, Connor is my son.
But like, I would imagine you love Trucker Hat Roy as well.
That's fine, Aki. You're allowed to have shit taste.
Like, I would imagine Roy is family. It's not like I am keeping you at an arm's length. It's just like, no, I'm not treating you like my son. You are my apprentice, but you are still family.
Yeah.
You know,
it's the same thing as like Dick isn't Bruce's son; he's his ward.
No, Dick is his son. Tim is not. Tim is his apprentice. At this point in time, Dick is his son.
Yes, I was about to say that. The modern understanding has shifted to them very much being father and son, but up until about the 2000s, it was always treated as like, no, they care about each other. But Bruce didn't want Dick to forget his real parents, so he never adopted him.
Yeah, but I think it's like also that understanding that as a plot point can be the conflict, and it's like understanding and coming to the terms of like, no, we are father and son is the way to like fix a lot of those problems. So it works as a character progression thing. That's what I'm saying.
Also, like aesthetics wise, I want to say all the costumes from all the new costumes, because like they have elements of older ones, but the ones on the cover here for Dinah, Ollie, and Roy are new costumes. I remember being trepidatious about them back when we first saw them, and it almost has like the tokusatsu suit thing here, where it's not in motion, but like in panel. I think these costumes really work.
Is that Connor's classic costume? Like, what is his superhero name? Is he just another Green Arrow?
He's just another Green Arrow. Okay. He has the Hawkeye thing going
on. Never forget your roots. That's where you were introduced to Roy.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, no, I liked it. I'm gonna keep reading it.
Yeah, hopefully. Like, I don't need every issue to be this good, but as long as they're, like, close to this good, I think this will be, like, a modern classic Green Arrow run.
DC's really bringing out their B-listers. They're really going like, yo, we got some good B-list heroes. Let's give them books.
Mm-hmm. Do you really like these Scrimblows? Get out here and prove it. Buy these books. Get them turned into ongoings.
Because Marvel's been, I wouldn't say been doing great with their B and C listers, but they have consistent B and C lister getting books.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to see DC doing that. I like seeing the B-listers, you know?
Yeah.
I say B-listers as like they're not the name brand people. Next up, we both read Clobberin' Time #2, aka Thing Marvel Team Up.
Yeah. I feel pretty much the same as I did about the first issue. This is insane but very fun, and I like it.
It's just a fun goof off action romp.
Yeah.
Of the Theme and Wolverine teaming up.
Yeah, this time there's a little bit of like mutant politics, except this feels like it was written a few months ago.
Yeah, and it's also just kind of weird because like they like the Thing goes like, "Oh yeah, me and you are both made out of rocks, right?" And like the immediate response is like, "Yes, but I was born like this." And it's like, "Lady, he currently has a disability. You have similar problems. Don't be semantic."
Yeah.
He's trying to relate to you. You roll your eyes and go, "Yeah, we have similar problems."
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun. They fight a dude from the future.
Yeah.
They get fucking wrecked.
Some like the most graphic Wolverine shit I've seen in a while, and that's saying something considering the way his book has been.
Oh yeah. But it's really good. Clobberin' Time's a fun thing, and I'm super glad Marvel's doing a revival in spirit of Marvel Team Up.
Yeah.
Because we had that Miss Marvel book a little bit ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how they're changing it up. They're not just going like, oh, Thing and Wolverine is its own one-shot issue, and like you have to read all of them for a story. It's like, okay, Miss Marvel worked, but we can clean it up for people to keep up with.
Yeah, I hope if this sells well, they just finally do a book called Marvel Team Up again. And you know what I think would be a really good way to do that?
Hmm.
Don't anchor it to one specific character. Say like, okay, writer who we want on this book, give us like your free top picks for who you would want to have the anchor character be, and we'll tell you which one you can use slash is the most marketable.
And you just use
And
that character for 5 issues with guest spots.
yeah.
Like, I think that works. I Marvel, keep this up, please. I love Marvel Team Up. It's the fun. This is the fun goof off, like, one issue you can hand to a kid and go like, "Hey, read this."
Yeah, though, like, I don't know if this book is really that, considering how graphic it gets.
You hand this to a 10-year-old who's seen, like, who's like, is okay enough with
Who
like
can handle it?
cartoon stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm. But like, don't put this in the lending library at your local school.
Yeah, no. We both read issue 4 of Wasp.
This was a, I mean, like, this was a decent wrap-up final issue, but I really feel like this book wanted to be the like full, what was it, 6-8 issues that the Ant-Man book was.
Yeah.
And they couldn't do that because the Wasp isn't as marketable.
It works though. The story's good.
Yeah.
And it's all about like Janet and Nadia like really cementing their relationship and just like going like, no, Wasp is a cool character, guys. And it's continuing. There's gonna be a third part of this.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that one turns out.
Yeah. We wrapped up some loose ends from Nadia's stories. We wrapped up some loose ends from Wasp's stuff. This feels like Ewing was just like, there's a lot of continuity shit. There's some stories that haven't been wrapped up in like 70 years. I'm just gonna do that real quick.
Yeah.
Let me wrap this up. Yeah, that's fine. That's cute. Similar to the Silver Surfer book that's been going on. It's just wrapping up a plot line from like early Silver Surfer books. And just like, here we go.
Yeah.
Deep continuity.
Just a writer going like, yeah, this is a thing I remember. Can I fix it real quick?
Yeah, sure. I read Invincible Iron Man number 5.
Is that Emma?
Yes.
Oh, what's Emma doing?
Well, Tony Stark basically goes to Emma and goes like, hey, do we want to have a meeting while riding horses on the beach? Because we're rich assholes. And he basically goes like, all right, so tell me about this fuckhead. And she goes like, okay, here's all the information about the fuckhead from the X-Men books, because you might not be reading X-Men as an Iron Man fan. It's like, all right, cool, thank you. As the other guy, as like the bad guy, the red guy, I can't remember his name. Basically,
Red Man from the acclaimed Tokusatsu series, Red Man.
Fuck off. Is going through Stark's all the materials at Stark's and looking for Howard Stark material. And he finds some old reel-to-reel tapes and film, and he watches it, and it's made for Tony. It's like, hey, Tony, so there's a lot of things I need to tell you about. First things first, about that adoption. Fast forward through that. And then we get to a bit where Howard's going like, so I was working with this one scientist dealing with cosmic rays. No, it's not this one scientist. I was talking to Nathaniel Richards about cosmic rays and how it could create a new metal on the periodic table that would transcend humanity, much like iron did in our past. Here's the information. I can't do it today. I can't do it in my time, but this is my gift to you. Lead humanity to the future. And this guy's going like, sweet, I got shit. And Tony Stark arrives at the place hours later, and like he walks into the building, and they're building a Stark Sentinel. It's a Sentinel, but it's Stark tech, so it's a much better Sentinel. Like, it's a Sentinel, but upgraded.
Yeah.
And he runs into the bad guy, and the bad guy goes like, hey, Tony, I burned all your father's tapes. You don't get to hear his long-lost messages to you. Fuck you. I have a photographic memory, so I remembered it all. Fight the Sentinel. And Tony's like, fuck. This is a Sentinel with my tech. It is, like, its skin is tough. It is my suit, but bigger and tougher. I cannot win, and he runs away.
Interesting. Also, just to reference the chat, I love the slow realization journey we've gone on. That Aki is just me if I was into dominant women instead of submissive women.
But yeah, no. Invincible Iron Man was really good. It's shaping up to be a good book. I also read Deadpool.
I've seen a lot of photo sets from this issue. This is apparently a well-liked issue.
So Deadpool and his new girlfriend are trying to go on a date. And it's really cute because the girlfriend is confronted by her former assassin work people.
Oh.
And they're like, why are you dating that ugly man? And she's like, he is not ugly, and I like him. Fuck you. And it's just like, oh, okay, cool. She's genuine about this. And basically, they're trying to have, like, a really normal date. No super shenanigans whatsoever. But assassins are trying to kill them from the previous arc. So Lady Deathstrike, while babysitting Deadpool's Carnage dog, is fighting the assassins so they can have a normal...
Listen, I love goths and evil/morally ambiguous women. see, that's like a side interest for me.
But basically, Lady Deathstrike is just killing the assassins while they're trying to have a normal date. They end up in the planetarium. They're having a really cute moment. They hold hands, and like Deadpool just has like a monologue of like, I'm not saying we're gonna get a U-Haul, but I am saying this is really nice. And it's just like, aww. And then some assassins break into the planetarium and go like, we're gonna kill you, and that's the end of the issue.
Oh, what fun.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good. If you like seeing Deadpool somewhat happy, here you go.
Nice.
We both read Captain America, Symbol of Truth, number 12, Cold War Part 2.
I feel about the same with this as I did about Part 1. It's a lot more solid than I expected it to be, and it just kind of feels like a comic-sized chunk of an MCU Captain America movie.
Yeah. The biggest things that we can take away from this is Captain America wants to try and save Bucky. Sam is like... Steve is like, let's try and save Bucky. Sam is like, nah, we should probably put him down.
We might have a problem here, though.
We might have to put him down. And, like, they're arguing, things happen, they're going, let's hold off on this till we actually need to...
And meanwhile, their girlfriends are doing all the actual work.
Yeah. And also, we get some cool, in-depth stuff with Ian about why he's Nomad.
Yeah. I definitely felt for Ian a little bit in this one.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Good Captain America.
Yeah, you'll love to see it.
We both read Unstoppable Doom Patrol.
This issue is a lot.
This issue is a lot, and it is also a giant knife to the throat of the X-Men books.
Yeah. Like this friggin' opens with a homage to both classic X-Men and Marvel G.I. Joe. And then it's just like, look at all this cool lore. Also, you know how the Doom Patrol are kind of DC's X-Men? Fuck current X-Men.
Yeah, it's like straight up just fuck current X-Men. And it's just like...
I don't agree. I like current X-Men, but also that was hilarious.
And like the character they introduced in this is like a Doom Patrol version of Maggot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was reading this and just going like, what is the problem with what? Why are you just trying to shit on X-Men?
I also love how this is like vehemently not fucking James Gunn Peacemaker. This Peacemaker is unambiguously a bastard.
Oh yes. Like a lot of good stuff. I like Velvet Worm. It's a cute design.
Mm-hmm.
Um
I really like I don't know if it's just like a thing here the writer came up with or it comes from a previous Doom Patrol book, but I'm weirdly into Rita and Flex being an item.
yeah.
I think that's really cute.
I like Flex being there, but not being a member of the team. He's just there as like physical therapy.
Mm-hmm.
That's cute.
I don't know what Robot Man's little field trip was referencing though. I feel like
It's a
that's
Grant
a
Morrison
fan.
character.
Yeah, I thought it was something like that.
It's the ape face girl.
Mm.
I do like there's one panel of Crazy Jane talking into the like talking to her alters, going like, "Guys, I'm the original. Can I have a moment outside?" And it's just like,
Yeah.
"Oh." But like it is completely fuck current X-Men because the Professor Xavier analog has fucking secrets down below he doesn't want people to know about.
Yeah.
And
And it's not like, oh, maybe it's like I'm saying this in a way that sounds like it's making I'm being derogatory towards current X-Men. This is just the only way I can think of to describe it. Current X-Men very much treats Xavier like maybe he's doing fuckboy shit, but also like he's the best option we have, so whatever, I guess. Whereas this is just like, no, he is fucking around behind everyone's back and it's going to bite them in the face.
yeah, like legit, he hands a memo and then the page turns in to one of the info dump X-Men pages.
Yeah, that was the point where I was like, oh, that's what we're doing. Okay.
And then it crumbles up and it's just like, no, I'm not reading any more of your memos. Which just feels like a very pointed, like, fuck that element in the Krakoan era of X-Men. I don't want to read that.
Interesting seeing that actually from an industry person, because I've heard a lot of like older X-Men fans have that complaint about the post-Hickman era ever since it started. And I always was just like, oh, those guys are just old heads. They're not willing to take on like new crazy concepts in their comics, whatever. That's always going to be a thing. It's fine. But seeing this from like somebody who's writing a current book is like, oh no, that is definitely a thing. And also like having experienced it for so long and gotten to a point where I honestly don't read most of the memos in X-Men
I
anymore.
get a feeling for when I really do want to read them. Like, I have gotten to the point, like,
Yeah.
I know when I want to read one.
Like if it's super supposed to be like information, like if the book makes it clear like this next page or that last page is very important, I'll double back around to it. But I mostly skip them now. So now being in that mindset and seeing it, that opinion stated in an actual comic was like, yeah, no, you're kind of right, and that's hilarious. That's fine.
I don't know. It just feels a little mean spirited about, like, current X-Men.
Oh, it definitely is, but like it's almost refreshing considering how much of like an echo chamber we put ourselves in, going like current X-Men is great.
Yeah, but it's also just like, current X-Men is great. Current X-Men is shit. They should do what old X-Men did. But like that was the problem with old X-Men. They just got in a rut. They needed something
Yeah.
new.
Yeah, no, I don't agree that like they need to go back to basics, but I definitely agree that there's like things about Krakoa I could do without like the memos.
Yeah. I like the memos. They are a useful tool for some information.
I know you do, you fucking lore hound.
But also you get great gags, such as the one from the exploitation one. I can't remember what it was called. Where it was the group chat.
Exterminators.
The
Yeah,
Exterminators
those
with the
were
group
good.
chat,
Those
yeah.
were great.
Overall, it's a good book. It's just like, Jesus, I didn't know there was that much venom for Krakoa.
Yeah, there is. That's always been a thing. I've seen that from like I know a lot of like Marvel Legends reviewers who were trying to get back into comics around the time of Krakoa kicking off, and they were like, "Yeah, I tried to read it, and then like it kept turning into like actual book pages, and I just couldn't fucking deal with that in a comic book."
We call those people weak. We both read Daredevil.
This is an okay issue.
This things are popping off though. Things
They're
are
very
falling
much like,
apart.
yeah, this is very much the charge to the end.
It's a big fight between Matt and Spider-Man.
And it's really well done. I don't think it deserved a fucking clickbait article because the way he beats him is fairly logical and like
Yeah.
established in previous lore. But
He cracks open
uh,
one of the web shooters and he just stuck in web.
and then he hits him with pressure points. And I like the detail in the narration of like, I almost have to apply enough pressure to break my own fingers.
Yeah. But like it is very much they don't want to fight, but they feel like they have to fight.
Mm-hmm. And Matt is just full on going, no, I got to get the fuck out of here. Fuck everything. I'm gonna take the book and I'm gonna get rid of these fucking prophecies and get away from all this.
Yeah. Daredevil is Daredevil. This is going to be a quintessential run for Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
Zdarsky's entire thing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
It's really good. Read Daredevil, everybody. We both read Doctor Strange.
I liked this a fair bit more than I thought I was going to after reading the first issue. This is a lot more coherent and really cute and doesn't like go as directly into the maybe Clea's doing fuckboy shit as I thought it was going to.
No, this is actually a sequel to that one X-Men book where Jean Grey fucking embarrasses Nightmare.
Yeah, I like that they directly reference that while also like doing some fun couples jokes.
Oh yeah, and they do the whole switcheroo of like, I'll take care of your problems if you take care of mine.
Mm-hmm. And I love Stephen going like, "Am I really that old? Do I really look like an old ghoul?" And Clea's like, "No, honey, you're not that old, but you certainly are that vain." Like, oh, that's something I've heard like stuff like that. I've heard real couples say to each
But
other.
you know
So
it's all in fun and jest and it's all cute.
yeah. Also, the freaking bit where Nightmare is like, "I'm gonna be the darkest reflection of you," and Clea's like, "I'm from the dark dimension, motherfucker."
I
That was
am my
so
darkest
perfect.
reflection of me.
Hmm. It's good shit. And like Moon Knight is in this issue and has a hilarious little moment.
Oh yeah, Moon Knight and Clea are friends.
Moon Knight and Clea are friends, but Steve and Moon Knight still hate each other.
And I think that's cute. It's just like you're my wife's friend. I will put up with you. I don't have to like you.
Again, very realistic couples writing.
But also, it's really fun. It's just like Moon Knight's like, yeah, no, I understand, but here's the problem. You are the only one who can solve it. I trust you, Steve.
Hmm.
Which I think is a good characterization for Moon Knight. It's like, yeah, I know you hate me, but still, you're the only person I can trust. Here you go.
Yeah.
Good shit. Also, Wong shows up at the end, very end, going like, "We have a problem."
It's fucked!
Yeah, so that's gonna happen. We both read Sins of Sinister Dominion.
This is exactly the kind of post-Hickman X-Men shit I love.
Okay, they're trying to reset the time. It is the end of everything. Sinister goes like, "Oh shit, everyone's dead. I can use that collective energy and become a Dominion." So he tries, and he gets out of space and time, and then there's a fucking Dominion there already, going like,
And it's
Nah,
also
bitch.
a sinister.
and he's like, "What the fuck?"
And then time gets reset, and fucking Rasputin follows his ass back to the past and grabs him and takes him to the Quiet Council. And he's like, "You don't understand. There's a problem. You guys might be compromised." And they're like, "Oh, we understand, motherfucker. We're going in the ground with you."
Oh, it's so good. But also, like, I love how self-sacrificial that is, and I love how Mother Righteous is there, just going like, "Hi, I'm here. I'm a new character, totally unrelated to
Just
anything."
being hilariously British.
It's fucking great.
Hmm. Also, Kate and Rasputin are totally gonna fuck.
Possibly. And it's just really good. I love how desperate Sinister is in this. It's just like, no, 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 I fucked up a lot. Yeah, we know you fucked up a lot. More than that.
Hmm. Also, I just realized Hope's in the hole.
Yep.
Is Resurrection off the table for a while now?
No, they're just finding a person.
Okay.
Remember, Resurrection isn't only those five, it's just those five are currently the best mutant circuit to do Resurrection.
Okay, so
There are other
we're probably gonna get like an issue of Immortal X-Men about them going like, we need a Hope replacement for the five.
whose powers fit the best.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, oh no, wait, you didn't read that. They make a brand new Resurrection mutant circuit in the future, in the previous issues of this.
Oh, okay.
With like completely unrelated characters.
Interesting.
So like you just need 5 mutants that can kind of approximate the power set, and then you can resurrect. Mm-hmm. That's why Sal from Comic Pop's complaint of like Krakoa era X-Men is dog shit of like, we found one person to create clean drinking water, but if that person dies, we're fucked. It's like, no, there's multiple people who can do that, and they all have them on file. So if that one dies, then there's another guy right there.
Yeah. Also just crazy that like some of their biggest guns are off the table now.
Oh yes. There's a reason that
Fall of X is gonna be rough.
Yeah. But boy, was this a fucking wild ass ride.
Mm-hmm. Very much looking forward to getting back to regularly scheduled programming though.
Oh yeah. It's really good though. Really, really good. I read Thor.
How goes it?
Thor breaks into Latveria, saves Hela.
That's the whole issue?
Kind of. There's other stuff like there's a moment where Thor gets like a certain power that Doom has been like trying to siphon and do, and he realizes like, oh, this is pure undiluted faith, and if I could just take it for myself and just make these people worship me, it is very tempting. Nope, I'm a good guy. Let's solve the issue. So it's like,
does Doom do anything cool in this?
I don't remember. I think he's off doing something else.
Oh, he's sure not appearing in this film.
Yeah, well, he's there, but it's like, eh. Also, Thanos is gonna show up next issue.
Oh boy!
Yeah.
Are we finally gonna get the Infinity Gem hammer thing?
No, I think Thanos is looking for a gem, and it got turned into a person.
Oh boy!
It's weird. I don't know. I'll tell you when the next one comes out.
Yeah.
You read Darth Vader, red, black, white, and red.
Oh, I think I sent you this cover by mistake because I started reading this and then stopped because I realized it wasn't really for me.
Okay. Well, it's an anthology that's done in 3 colors, everybody.
Yeah.
I read Hulk, and this is the final of Starship Hulk.
Oh my god, what happens?
They fight the Titan. They try their hardest. Banner Banner comes to an agreement with the Hulk, and they do a thing. They blah blah blah. They realize, oh, we were tricked. The Spare gets fucking sent off somewhere, so he's still around. You know, well, the typical things. Banner's back on Earth, and everyone's like, yo, we realized that like you weren't in, like, you didn't actually cause all the murder and mayhem on that one place that we were chasing you for, so like you're in the clear, you're good. But Bruce Banner's is still like, yeah, no, I still feel bad about that. Yeah, it's just kind of like, it is very much of like, yeah, yo, all the problems you were going through, yeah, they're solved. The trauma's not.
So it's a Hulk book.
Yeah. It's fun action though. It's good art.
Yeah.
We both read Vanish, number 6.
God, this fucking book, man.
This fucking book. It is very clear that this is another Donny Cates addiction is bullshit in hell kind of stories.
Mm-hmm. Just the wife cutting him out. Like most of this issue is just that, but like the way it's done is so like horrifically realistic.
Mm-hmm. And it's just it's heartbreaking.
The reveal that like he didn't actually shoot the guy.
He missed.
The reveal that yeah, he was in a mental hospital at one point.
It is very interesting, and I because like he's in the process of resurrecting the dude by killing all those guys.
And he's very much, no, I don't have a choice. I have to do this to protect us. And she's like, no, you just want to do this, and you're fucking everything up after years of me trying to help you.
Yeah, but also like saying you peaked at 13, kind of a dick thing to say to a guy when he's fucking going down on a mental health spiral.
Yeah. Especially a guy who, like, you're trying to get back on your side for a monumental reason.
Yeah, and it's not like he it's not like, yeah, but it's just like, ugh. Like I said, this is a very much of addiction book, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But there's also, like, that element of, like, were those other wizards and people actually redeemed? Did they actually want to do good? Or were they just superheroes because of, like, it was the safest option? Like, is he right for going after them? We don't know at this point now.
Yeah.
It's like it's a little fucked.
We're at that fun point that every indie comic eventually arrives at of like, yeah, the main character might not be the hero of this story.
But it's a good story so far.
Mm-hmm.
Vanish is good.
Yeah, we like it.
And that's the last book we read.
Oh, you forgot one of my books then. I was waiting for it to come. The finale of the DC Universe, Lazarus Planet, Revenge of the Gods came out
Nobody can
this
see
week.
that.
Its
white balance is off.
It's fine. It was dog shit.
Okay.
It's really fucking stupid. Some of the worst characterization I've seen in a DC book in a while. Some real nonsensical shit just to get characters back to status quo after this. Like the wizard is full on like, oh, we can't give Mary back her powers because I don't have power to give her. And Billy, you can't just give her your powers because I need you for a thing. And then like one of the Greek goddesses just shows up and goes, yo, you can have powers based on a bunch of Greek goddesses that will also spell out Shazam.
Jesus. That's egregious.
Yeah. Also, the wizard full on goes like, no, I wasn't actually evil. I just sided with evil because I thought Billy fucked me over when he cut me off from the Rock of Eternity. But now I see I was being a dick shit. So now let's be friends again. And Billy and Mary are just like, yeah, it's fine. And I'm like, motherfucker, he was trying to kill you 5 panels ago.
This is Billy. He'd be like, oh, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and they do the like, I didn't see it coming because I didn't read their interactions that way, but in retrospect, the most obvious joke in the world of Billy fucking powers down and tries to ask Yara out, and she's like, you're way too young for me, fuck off.
Oh.
It's not great. I hope Tom King's run gets here soon and is good.
So overall, comics okay this week?
Yeah, like that was a really glaring big problem, but it has been for a while now. And like a lot of the other books I read were fucking great. This is a really solid week, I thought.
Nice. So, how about you tell the people where they can find you?
Hey everybody, I'm the Vacuuminator. I make YouTube videos about things and stuff. You can find them every week on youtube.com at the Vacuuminator. I'm also on Twitter at the Vacuuminator, just doing Twitter stuff. I'm on Tumblr doing Tumblr stuff at the Vacuuminator. I think it's thevacuuminator.tumblr.com actually. I am on Instagram, however, that might be winding down for a little bit here because I'm running out of toy photography and I don't really have a good opening to shoot new stuff at the moment. But if you want to go ahead and follow that, that's at the underscore vacuuminator on Tumblr. I'm also on TikTok posting clips of my videos at the underscore vacuuminator, so go follow that.
Nice. Hey, howdy, I'm Boingo. I do a variety of content on the internet. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at Boingo_writer. Follow me on Tumblr. I stream on Twitch Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and I post videos on YouTube at Boingo Writer, and weekly Common Writer video reviews and video essays every once in a while. And this has been No Price Podcast, part of Modular Media, where we talk about comics and such, but we also have other podcasts, including but not limited to Components, which is just us hanging out midnight, goofing off. We also
Yeah.
have Analytical Fanboys, where once a month a member of the cast will pick a piece of media. The rest will have to watch it, and then we'll have a discussion about it. This upcoming episode is going to be Mobile Suit Gundam 8th MS Team, which we
Oh
all
boy.
we talked it. We talked
We had
about it.
a good old time talking about that.
Yeah. And we also have Twit. Would you like to tell the people about Twit?
TWIT stands for This Week in Toku or This Week in Tokusatsu. It's a podcast where myself and Buster discuss all the latest news and releases from the wild world of Japanese live action special effects shows like Power Rangers, Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, Ultraman, and all that good stuff. A lot of stuff came out this week, so it's going to be another big one. We last week's episode was almost 2 hours because of the news, and we had some extra stuff. And now we don't have nearly as big a news week, but we have like a big release week that kind of balances it out the other way.
Yeah. So if you want to see this podcast and many more, remember, like, God damn it, my headphone wire. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below what you liked, tell us what you would like to see from us in a variety of ways, and watch this podcast, many more, watch all of our content, and say hello. And in the meantime, Vac, do you have anything else you would like to say?
Well, I was gonna make it's gonna be May joke here, but then we had like an hour of technical difficulties, so we're ending later than normal,
An
even though
hour
the
of technical difficulties that we solved in the dumbest way.
oh yeah, and I hope you write that fix down. Um, uh, so I guess I'll just say, hey, Guardians is out this week. I already have a ticket. I'm gonna be seeing it Friday night. I'm excited. Whether or not Boingo will see it is up in the air. We might make it the feature next week. We might be back to Avengers. It depends.
Yeah, we'll let you know. But in the meantime, enough said.